Hey guys, what if Naruto x Medaka K movie? It was the question Hess been asking himself for so long sitting alone in this white small room. A pair of blue eyes stare blankly at a pair of hands that are covered in bandages, clenching and unclenching them, as if he has nothing better to do. His entire face is covered by rolls of bandages, completely covering his face, except for his eyes and mouth. Is this my fate? To be alone? The young boy flinches as the iron door of the room open, his dull eyes now filled with fear as he backed away to the corner of the room. "Ah, hello there," an unfamiliar kind voice greeted, "you must be Kurama-kun, yes?" Slowly looking toward the unfamiliar voice, his frightened blue eyes are met with the kind smile of a woman he had never seen before, chest short, and wore the same lab coats that the scary men wear. "Are you here to give me more pain?" The young boy asked with a timid voice. The question itself seems to surprise the woman, as her eyes widen for several seconds before her kind smile return. "Of course not. I promise you I'm not here to give you more pain." "Really?" The woman nodded. "I promise." She extended her hand. "Now, take my hand." The frightened boy stares at the hand, then at the kind face the woman have. Slowly he moves his hand toward her and finally grabs hold of it. Her hand was warm, it was the warmest thing he ever felt in his entire life. Of God knows how long Hess been here. "Do you like it? My name is Hitomi Hiroyoshi, it's nice to meet you, Kurama-kun." He will never ever forget that smile, the smile that marks the beginning that changes his life forever. For the better or worse. XXX. It's a peaceful day in the Hakanua Academy, the sky is bright blue, with no sign of it going to rain, the birds are singing their beautiful melodies as they fly in the sky, and the wind is dancing to accompany the song of the birds. "Ah, such a peaceful day, don't you think?" A spiky blonde-haired boy said with a peaceful smile on his face as he stretches his hands to the open sky of the academy rooftop, wearing the academy standard uniform. There's nothing weird about him, except his blonde hair and his open uniform style that marks him as a delinquent of a sort. Oh, and his whiskers, you can't forget his trademark infamous whisker. His words earned him a weird look from his companion, a brown-haired boy with fangs tattoo on his face. Peaceful. Try saying that to those guys on the floor. Unlike his blonde companion, he wore a gray hoodie on top of his academy uniform. The blonde moves his stares to the pile of groaning bodies that he had just created. "Oh yeah, I actually forgot about them." That answer earned him sweat drop. "You don't actually forget about the people you just beat up 3 minutes ago." "Well, it's their fault for picking a fight with me." The blonde teen walks to the pile of bodies and crouches down as he pokes the nearest face he could find. "Oi. Ugh, what do you want?" The delinquent asked with hints of fear in his voice. "Listen up, you grunts, from now on, your answer to me and me only." He points his thumb on his chest, "the one who will someday conquer this entire school and bring it to its knee." The wild grin broke upon his face. "Naruto Uzumaki. You better believe it." Every delinquent that Naruto just beaten stares at him with wide eyes, not really believing that this first year that had somehow beaten them just declare hell conquered the entire school. A minute passed in silence and finally broke away. "Boyabun. Well, follow you everywhere. Long live our new boss." As if Naruto words were some divine inspirational words, the delinquents raised up to their feet and raised their hands to the heaven, welcoming their new boss who is very smug at his successful recruits for new underlings. Iba sweat drop at that, for as long as he remembers, Naruto has this weird leadership aura that somehow manages to affect people, especially the one he had just beaten. Speaking of leadership. "Hey, Naruto, who do you pick to be our student council president?" Naruto's smug moments stop right there on the spot. "Huh? You know the election for our student council president, who do you pick?" "Here's an election." Iba faces fault at that. "You didn't know, didn't your homeroom teacher tell you that?" Naruto scratches his chin and thought, now that he mentioned it, perhaps his homeroom teacher did say something along those lines, and that explained the dozens of posters and speeches Hess been seeing and hearing this last few days. That also explains why there are almost no students here except for delinquents. Iba sighed in frustration as he massages his temple. God knows why he follows this guy around. The election's over already, so you don't have to worry about that. Really? So who won? A beauty by the name Medaka Kurakami. Iba never felt someone grab him in the shoulder so fast and strong that he feels a bit of pain. "Did you just say Medaka Kurakami?" "Why yeah, I did. Stop crushing my shoulders." Naruto let go of his hand and mumbled an apology, but his mind went elsewhere. Medaka, could it really be her? If it's really her, what would he do? His train of thought was interrupted by a hand landed on his shoulder. "You okay, dude?" "Yeah, I'm fine." Naruto shook his head to clear his weighing thoughts. Anyway, he turned toward one of his senior, now underling. "One of you tells me the hierarchy of the delinquents of this school. I want to start conquering already." The underlings huddle together as they begin to discuss which poor bastard that will taste the wrath of their new boss. Their discussion took quite a while, with one or two of them raise their head to look around for God knows why and then back to the huddle. After 15 minutes, they have finally decided. Baloyabin, there's that group. XXX. The dojo door slide opens, earning the attention of every delinquent inside the place. They glare at whoever has the balls and crazy enough to come here. Surprise motherfucker. Naruto announced with a wild grin as he enters the place, Kiba and his underlings not far behind. The blonde stop as he raises an eyebrow at the current state of the place. The heck? This place is supposed to be a dojo. Really? One of the delinquents stood up. By the looks of this one, Hess, the leader of this ragtag band of delinquents. Who the fuck are you? Naruto tilted his head. Who am I? Well, the name's Naruto Uzumaki and I'm here to bring this academy to its knee. He cracks his knuckles. Nice to meet you, senpai. The leader let out a snarl as he grabs his wooden sword and aims it at the blonde, Yaura cocky little bastard, aren't ya? Don't you know who I am? Sure I know, Yaura Mahibi Machi, right. It's Mahibi Moji. Get it right you bastard. Eh? Really? Naruto looks at his group for confirmation, which they nodded. I like Machi batter. That earned a tick mark from Moji. Don't change people name as you please, damn it. Naruto scratches his head in annoyance. What? Then what do you want me to call you? Badasai. Kamina. That's from a different anime. Moji shook his head. That's it. I'm going to teach you some manner you cocky little. The blue-haired Badasai Kamina wanna raise his wooden sword only to realize something. His target and his wooden sword are gone. You talk too loudly you know. A voice said directly behind him, but I got to say, you have a nice sword here, despite how this place looks. You take care of your sword huh? Moji looks behind him to see the blonde junior twirling his sword with a smile on his face. Hey, did you know that a swordsman's whole history is written on their sword? How? Is that guy a ninja? Has a ghost. Naruto frowned at that last nickname. Oi, I don't mind being called a ninja, but a ghost. Really, a ghost. The blonde blinked when Hess suddenly surrounded by the whole kendo delinquent group. Oh my. Oyaben. Before one of Naruto underling can help, a strong grip stopped him. Aniki. Kiba shook his head. Don't interfere, those guys won't be a match for Naruto. But. It'll be fine, Kiba grinned as he prepares to watch the show, silently cursing not bringing popcorn. Let Naruto show them what true strength is. You bastard. I don't know what kind of trick you did, but you're not getting out of here alive. Moji threatened as his underling nodded their heads in agreement. And give me back my sword. Naruto blue eyes analyze all of his enemies that surrounded him. Although their form is sloppy, there are hints of them taking kendo training. You guys used to be passionate about your training, right? The kendo club tense when he said that. I thought so. The form you guys used are the basic of kendo stance, and the boken all of you are using are well kept for some half-assed delinquent. You bastard. One of the delinquent charge at the blonde with a downward slash, which the later dodge easily. The attack results in the rest of the kendo club to join in, trying to slash the blonde with their wooden sword. Oh not bad, Naruto commented as he dodges every attack from all sides. The attacks are sloppy though, you guys need more training. Irusui. All of the delinquent leaps toward the blonde and slashed down, hard. The sound of woods meeting wood was heard in the entire dojo. That's a good coordinate attack, but unfortunately Naruto grinned, as if the several wooden swords he was holding with his own sword was nothing. You're facing a stronger opponent. Moji, who can't really join in because of his lack of a sword, watch in shock at the display of strength. I am possible. With a grunt Naruto pushed back all of the attackers and put the sword on his shoulder. Come on, is that all? None of them dare to move. After such a display of strength, what fool would dare to attack such a monster? If you guys won't attack, Naruto grin turns into a sadistic wild one as his blue eyes are filled with bloodlust. He'll be the one who attacks. The burst of killing intent frees every single human being in the dojo. All of them can't move as their eyes showed them something that was only told to exist when they're kids. Scary stories to make kids do the bidding of their parents. The monster. Though it was all broken when Naruto threw back the wooden sword he borrowed back to its owner, who somehow manages to catch it by pure instinct. I was just joking, why so tense? Naruto's sadistic grin turned into a cheesier grin. You guys should see the looks on your faces. Lots of tick marks appear on Maji's head, though before he can say any complaint Naruto cut him off. That's why you all should get stronger, so join me. All of their eyes widened at the blonde proposal. Naruto flashed them a grin, join me. And stand beside me at the top of this academy. So one day you can challenge me again as an equal. And if you're lucky maybe defeat me. Naruto offered Moji his hand with a cocky smile that silently challenging him to take his hand. What do you say, captain of the kendo club? Moji stares at the hand Hess offered, still not really believing what had happened. After several seconds, Moji shook his head and slapped Naruto's hand away. TCH. I don't need your help to get stronger. We'll get stronger in our own way. Moji walked past Naruto, so until then, I'll let you take the damn throne, but don't you dare get beaten by someone else besides me. Naruto smirk, sure, it's a promise then, and Naruto Uzumaki never breaks a promise. The blonde student walks toward the dojo entrance with his smirk, passing by his subordinates who gave him looks of awe, except Kiba, since he already knew this will happen, he reaches for the slide door handle and slides it open. Only to see a beautiful purple-haired girl is standing there wearing a traditional guy with an armored skirt with a kanji that read Kurakami, a familiar blonde-haired student is standing behind her with an "it's so troublesome" expressions. "Oh, good afternoon, are you perhaps the captain of this dojo?" the girl said while covering her mouth with a fan. Naruto stares at her, his blue eyes widened in shock and disbelief of what he's seeing. It was her. There was no mistaking it. Although she has become more voluptuous, he still recognized her, the girl that used to look at life with no meaning. Medaka Kurakami. And behind her is the familiar male that resembles a certain person, the resemblance is uncanny, especially the hair, the son of the women he so respected. Zenkichi Hideyoshi. It took several more seconds before Naruto snapped out of his train of thought and quickly uses the most believable excuse he can think of at this time. Look. A dancing Russian bear. Yes, that's the best he can think of at this time. Without confirming his excuse has worked or not, he quickly uses famed comical manly retreat that almost every shonen manga protagonist had used at least once. However, since the dojo only had one entrance, Naruto decided to crash into a wall and made a hole large enough for him. It took several minutes for everyone to register what just happened, and when it does all of Naruto's group quickly chase after the blonde, leaving the president with the kendo club. What just happened? A certain fellow blonde asked out loud. XXX. It's a very bad day for one Naruto Uzumaki. After yesterday's escapade in the kendo club, Naruto has been in constant paranoia that Medaka or Zenkichi will appear suddenly in front of him again, so he has been in the most stealthy stealth mode he has to avoid encountering them. But just his luck, it seems he's in the same class as one of them. Zenkichi's class to be exact. Naruto curses the gods for having a weird sense of humor, he can feel the stares Zenkichi gave him throughout the class, fortunately, he sits near the window so he can watch the trees instead. And to make things worse, a random midget by the name Hanso Shiranui is pestering him about the rumored one-sided fight of him against the kendo club, the blue-haired chibi is quite a persistence in her interrogation of him. Hey come on. Give me the juicy details already. It's lunchtime and she's still pressing for information. The spiky blonde student girths his teeth in annoyance as he tries to fully concentrate on his lunch, even when he sprinted to the cafeteria, she somehow manages to find him. Leave the guy alone, Shiranui has trying to eat his lunch, a familiar voice said as another person sit down next to the blue-haired girl. Naruto flinches when he realizes it's Zenkichi, the person he's been avoiding for the last several hours, damn his luck. Ah, my name is Zenkichi Hideyoshi, Zenkichi offered his hand, nice to meet you, guy. Naruto hesitantly took his hand, his eyes have something in them, Naruto Uzumaki. Zenkichi nods and then asked the question that's been bothering him for the whole day, say, Uzumaki-san, have we met somewhere before? Naruto slowly shook his head, no, we haven't. Ah, I see, with that, Zenkichi focuses his attention to his lunch, though if one looks closely, they can see that the blonde has bloodshot eyes. Shiranui notices them, of course, Medaka running you ragged again, Hideyoshi. You could say that Zenkichi answered his blue-haired friend. Naruto zoned out the conversation between Zenkichi and Shiranui, his mind went into a train of thought, it seems that Zenkichi didn't recognize them, which is good, and from the reaction Medaka gives yesterday, it seems she too didn't recognize him, good, he didn't want to meet them now. Not like this. The spiky blonde train of thought was interrupted by a loud call of Oyabun. From a certain underling he recruited yesterday. Oyabun. This is bad. The underling said between panting. Naruto stood up and looked at him, what is it? What's wrong? Are they under attack from a rival academy? A baby carrying ogre? A dragon? It's Kiba. Somebody attacked him and now he's in the infirmary. Without wasting another word, Naruto sprint out of the cafeteria, leaving his classmates behind. Though they sweat drop when Naruto came back only to drink his ramen soup before continuing his journey. XXX. The door of the infirmary burst open and a certain blonde hero walked inside. Kiba. The teen in question is lying down in the infirmary bed with a bandage over his head, surrounding him is Naruto's newest underlings. Yo, Naruto, Kiba greeted coolly, fancy meeting you here. What happened? Naruto asked. Kiba sighed, a bastard from your class bashes my head with a damn wooden sword and it's freaking hurt like hell, his eyes twitch in annoyance at the memory, the coward hit me from behind, probably not brave enough to challenge me. Who was it? Dang. It's that chink-eye bastard from your class, the one with the green hair and glasses, Haika something. Naruto looks at the other, anyone know where he is? I see him heading to the kendo club dojo, one of the underlings answered. That's all Naruto need to know. Triple X. The kendo club dojo has been improving greatly since the other day. It used to look like a dump ruin that doesn't even fit to step inside, but now it's clean like a true dojo. It will be perfect if wasn't for the pile of bodies in the middle of the place. Damn it, I was planning to be a good boy in this school, too, Haika cursed as he sighs. Among the body is the club captain Moji, who is too wounded to be able to stand. Who are you? Me? Haika darkly smile, I'm just a serious first year, he wipes his sword of blood, I'm a seriously serious man, he walks around the room, Maji's eyes following his movement. Please do hear me out. I'm not good with group activities, especially club hierarchy, he chuckles by himself, always having nice to my senpais, always having to keep up the act. Moji pieced them together, so that's why you came to a school whose kendo club was disbanded. That's right, here I do as I like without having to worry about others, Haika sigh, but it just my luck that some assholes already claimed the place, to make it worse, the assholes now works under another asshole. I was going to be a good boy and ask the president, and yet she hasn't made you move yet, so I was thinking of moving you guys by myself, he looks around the room. But I like what she did with this place. Moji clenches his hand, bitterly admitting the overwhelming power of this person, but then he remembers what the student council president had said to them, and that blonde bastard that beat him hands down, don't you run your mouth like that. Aika raises an eyebrow as Moji stood up, aiming his wooden sword at him, I just remember that I used to be passionate about kendo too. His words inspired the other club members as they slowly one by one stood up, ignoring their pain. Aika shook his head at their pathetic attempt to stand, fine then, do you know what 3 times kendo mean? He aims his sword at Maji's head, it means I'm 3 times stronger than you. He raises his sword aiming to strike. It never arrives. What the hell do you think you're doing, 4 eyes? Aika looks behind him to see a pair of blue eyes staring back at him coldly, the owner gripping his wooden sword tightly. Attacking my crew like this, do you have a death wish? The swordsman quickly leaps away from the blonde when he releases his grip on the sword, you Naruto Uzumaki. The one and only, Naruto responded as his eyes scan around the room, noticing the many injuries Haika had inflicted to his kendo team branch henchmen. Haika fixed his glasses, so you really are the leader of these thrashes, Naruto eyes fixed their gaze upon the swordsman, I guess filth always banded together with the filth, huh? Filth, you say? The glasses wearing swordsman freezes up, his eyes widened at the sudden pressure he was feeling, what is this? This feels like the gravity around you push you down, and your body does not respond to your command at all. Just what is this? Who the hell do you think you are calling them filth? Naruto said as he walks closer, just because they're delinquent they're filth. Is that it? A dark aura slowly poured out of the blonde. Aika somehow manages to move back slowly, what are you? They're not filth, Naruto blue eyes suddenly turn into a crimson one, filled with hate and malice, they are the people who will stand beside me as I bring this academy to its knee. Aika's body screams at him to destroy this monster in front of him, letting out a battle cry, he charge and strike Naruto at the head. Crack. Every eye widened and shocked as Haika's wooden sword was destroyed after clashing against Naruto's head, the said blonde just hung his head down with no response whatsoever. That stings a bit. Haika took a few steps back as Naruto looks at him, blood dripping from his head, though he looks like he didn't mind it one bit. Here, let me, Naruto cocks back his fist, return the favor. Crunch. Aika felt pain on his face as he was thrown across the dojo to a wall, resulting in a loud crash and smoke and dust. All the kendo members watch in awe as their so-called boss just took out the person that massacred them with one hit. Don't you dare mess with me or my men again. A very nice punch if I do say so myself, first year Uzumaki, a voice said suddenly behind the blonde, resulting in a girlish scream from Naruto as he quickly leaps away. Why you are, Naruto said while holding his heart, somehow, the girl has been trying to avoid managed to sneak up behind him without him noticing, something the blonde curse about himself, meet a Miss President. First year Moji told me about you, the first year with the ambition to conquer this school that ran away from before, Medaka said as she walks closer to the blonde, who is backing away from the president, and I must admit I am impressed, you protect your men like a true leader, and you defeat first year Haika in a very impressive manner, Medaka nods her head in satisfaction with her trademark fan. And I am sure he has learned his mistake. Medaka crimson eyes met with Naruto blues, she squints her eyes as she suddenly appears right in front of the blonde face, have we met before? Crimson hue decorates Naruto's face as he and her face were just a few centimeters apart, the blonde quickly shuffles backward out of Medaka's personal space. No we haven't, Naruto answered her while looking away, his eyes held a certain emotion. Medaka stares at the uncomfortable blonde for several more seconds before responding, is that so? For some odd reasons, Medaka could feel something familiar about the blonde, something she knew from her past, but she can't actually grasp what. Not really liking this awkward atmosphere, Naruto decided to retreat. Well, Miss President, my business here is done, so I'm going to leave now. Wait just a minute. Naruto flinches as he stops, slowly looks at Medaka, a fear she might recognize him. First year Uzumaki, Medaka closes her fan and then pointed at the blonde, join the student council. Truth to be told, Naruto doesn't really know what to do right now. He was taken by surprise when Medaka had asked him to join the student council, his heart jumped at the chance to be with Medaka and Zenkichi again, the three of them against the world, just like old time. And yet, he knew that it isn't the time, his mission is not over, and they must not know who he is yet, not now, not like this. And besides. The blonde blue eyes shifted toward where Moji and the kendo club are, barely managing themselves to stand. He got a responsibility to keep. I'm sorry, but I can't accept your offer. Medaka stares at Naruto's eyes for several seconds before asking, and may I ask why? Naruto smiled faintly, I have a responsibility to keep, as the leader of these hopeless guys, I can't just up and leave like that. He stares at the kendo group again, what kind of leader abandoned the people that trust him for selfish reasons? Medaka seems to want to speak, but the blonde cut her off. Besides, as the one who will one day rule this academy, the blonde point his finger at Medaka with a smirk, one day I'm going to defeat you, the one who stand at the top, and I can't do that while following you, so prepare yourself Medaka Kurakami. His smirk turns into a full-blown grin, one that filled with confidence that almost want to make you believe in him. I will defeat you. It was a declaration of war, almost all the occupant of the dojo couldn't believe what they're seeing. And yet, it was at that time that Medaka's heart skips a beat. XXX. So let me get this straight. Kiba pinched the bridge of his nose as he already felt migraine coming. You rejected an offer from the student council president to join her, and you declared war with her in the spur of moment. Naruto nodded his head in confirmation, yup, something like that. In a mostly unused storage room in the Hakanua Academy ground, a certain group with a goal to conquer the academy are having a meeting, though the only one who attend are the leaders, while the grunts mostly guard the surrounding area in case of something weird happening. God damn it, Naruto, Kiba said while banging his head to the table. Knowing Naruto, he knew that shit like this will happen someday, but happening this soon. This is not a good news at all. You do know we don't have any foothold of power yet, right? What? Why are you acting like it's the end of the world? Naruto said with a nonchalant tone while slurping an instant ramen. Well, win against her, so don't get your panties in a twist. That's not the point here. The dog breath is right, Moji said as he crossed his arms. We will never beat Medaka Kurakami by brute force alone, and don't forget the fact she's also a monster like you. That's right. Wait, what did you just call me? Dog breath, since you smell like one. Kiba stood up from his chair as he glares dagger at Moji, the later doing the same. Wanna take this outside, tough guy? You're on. Of course, Naruto interrupted before a full brawl happened. Enough, you two. He grabs both boys and forces them to sit down. First of all, Kiba, Machi's right, you smell like wet dog. Kiba looks at his friend like he was just being stabbed in the back, which he has. The hell, Naruto. Ha. What did I tell Moji? Stop, my name is Moji, you bastard. Hi, Manju, don't get your panties in a twist. It's Moji. Naruto ignore his outburst. Anyway, I get what you two are saying. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? We need a strong foothold, right? So who am I supposed to beat? Kibasai, that's not the problem here. Most of the student body sees us as some kind of social reject, a barbaric delinquent so to speak, so if you want to take down the student council and take over, you need to build a strong reputation first. The brown-haired boy looks at Naruto, so you get it yet? The blonde only respond with looking at Kiba like he has grown a second head. The tick mark, basically, if you take down Medaka Kurakami while we still have that kind of reputation and few in numbers, there will be rebellion by the entire student body. Naruto mouth made an O shape, you get it? If I'm not mistaken, you don't like beating up innocent students, right? So, if I beat Medaka with force, most of the student body will try to overthrow me. Yes, Kiba answered, unless you changed your damn principle, we need something that will shut them up. How troublesome. Naruto leaned back to his chair. Why did they hate us so much anyway? We haven't done anything wrong, right? Hell, he haven't even done any prank yet. Kiba sweat drop. Well, we are a group of delinquent, so of course they hate us. Oh yeah, I actually forgot, Naruto then hummed in thought, ignoring the bewildered looks from Moji and Kiba. Moji and Kiba sweat drop. How the hell can one forget that they're the leader of a delinquent group? Is he an idiot? Was what Moji was thinking while staring at his so-called leader, who is still in thought, though he didn't dare to voice it out loud. A minute had passed and Naruto still in thought, though it kind of amusing, since his expressions changes by each seconds. Finally, after waiting like forever, Naruto banged his hand to the table. Alright. the blonde said as he stood up, the other following him. Oh. Naruto, have you thought of something? Kiba asked in a hopeful tone. The blonde smirked confidently at the two before answering. I have no idea what to do. Both Kiba and Moji face faulted that. Then why the hell are you smirking so confidently about? Moji asked while pointing his wooden sword at Naruto, who just picked his ear with a bored expression. Well, I don't really have any idea of what to do about that, thinking is Shikamaru shit, too bad he move away though. Naruto then stares at Kiba and all that's left is a dog-loving guy. You bastard. You're implying I am stupider and you, Kiba accused with a tick mark. It seems Hess caught on what Naruto looks means. Oh, no, you're just imagining thing, Kiba. Don't say that. Well, you have that. Why must he be the one woes here with me? Look. Naruto ignored Kiba accusation. Anyway, I have to go now or it'll be late for my work, so he'll think of something somehow. Then with blinding speed, he somehow disappeared from the room with the parting words of Jana. Come back here, you bastard. Kiba then give chase, starting a futile quest to capture one Naruto Uzumaki. It usually ended up with Kiba losing unconscious because of lack stamina. Moji sweat drop at the scene, although it's kinda amusing, he still haven't got used to it. He better start then, because for some reasons he could tell that this will be a common scene from now on. XXX. Asagi Ashaya sighs as she rests her head on the table, trying not to think of her problems so much. However, despite how many times she tries, she always ended being reminded of it and it always leaves a bitter feeling inside her. Damn it, Asagi cursed quietly as she clenches her hand, though she flinched when a large bowl of hot steaming ramen was placed in front of her. You seem trouble, customer-san, the ramen maker asks, looking at her with a raised eyebrow. It's none of your problem, Asagi responded as she begins to eat her miso ramen, not before saying it Tadakima's of course. When the ramen touches Asagi tongue, the delicious flavor hit her taste system, sending shiver down her body. No matter how much time she eats here, the taste always makes her happy and forgets all about her problem. Until the ramen emptied anyway. Tia, come on, don't be like that, you're one of the regular here, so I want to make sure my regulars stays healthy so they can eat more ramen, the ramen maker said, trying to convince his customer to spill the bean. Asagi looks at the ramen maker bright blue eyes, not bothering to show the sincerity inside them, she sighs and then begins telling her problem to him. It was always like this since the first time she entered this small ramen bar, the young ramen maker would always ask any customers that looks like they has problems and he would just listen to them pouring their problems out, then he gives them weird advices that actually motivated them to do something. And for some reasons, no matter how hard she tries, she always spills her problems to him, the weird ramen chef that only works at the evening. Naruto Uzumaki. The said chef only smiled while wiping an empty ramen bowl like a bartender in some bar. Here's a girl in my school, Asagi begins, she's a second year and she's in the same club as I am. Naruto stopped what he was doing and looked at Asagi in shock. Don't tell me. Then the blonde slowly point his finger at the girl. You fell in love with Hiwak. He was interrupted by a thrown chopsticks, courtesy of Asagi. That's not it. Asagi outburst caught a few stares from several customers, though they returned to their meals. It's just another talking session with Naruto. Just ordinary day in Ichiraku ramen. She was made regular by the coach today. Asagi looks toward a ramen broth, and I wasn't. Naruto didn't say anything, but he could link the dots here. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how hard I trained, I wasn't picked by the coach. She grips her new chopsticks. I should congratulate her, but I can't. My heart always feels hurt. It makes me think that, maybe if she's gone, I can be chosen. Small tears slowly appear in her eyes. I don't know what to do, I just. Asagi stopped when an orange handkerchief appears in her field of vision. She looks up and saw Naruto offering it. I see, I don't blame you, Naruto smiled kindly at the girl. It was the same smile he always uses, the smile that made you feels calm around him, despite how weird it sounds. When your dream was taken by someone else, I know how you felt, you want to retake it back, no matter what the cost. But, why don't you change your perspective to that girl for a second? Asagi looks at Naruto, her eyes widened. You're not the only one who has a dream in this world, all of us have them. Did she train hard? Asagi nodded her head. She saw the girl train harder than most of her peers, and she sometimes saw her training overtime, even though club's over. It reminded her of herself when she was a junior. I know it hurt, but she has earned that position because of her hard work. Through sweat and blood, she has surpassed her senpai to achieve her dream. So why don't you share your dream with her? Asagi looks at the chef in surprised. Talk to her, train her, be her friend. When she reaches both of your dreams, you'll feel it, the feeling of satisfaction. The senior didn't say anything. She gives back the handkerchief and resumed to eating her ramen. A minute later, Asagi had devoured every noodle in her bowl. Before she could pay, Naruto stopped her. It's on the house. Asagi stares at the blonde before quietly stood up and walks toward the entrance, though she stopped when she reached it. Thank you, Uzumaki. Then she left the ramen bar, leaving a satisfied Naruto. "Boy, Naruto." The blonde flinches as he shivers, he knew that voice, how could he not? Slowly the blonde turned around and met face to face with Tucci, the owner of this place and Naruto boss. "I'm taking that ramen bill from your paycheck." Triple X. "I'm home." Naruto sighed when Silent once again greeted him, what hell do to have a kind voice greeted him when he returns. Naruto dropped his bag to the floor and inspect the surrounding of his apartment. It was a room sized to Tommy mat type, with a small kitchen and small bathroom. He has to remove the dining table to take out the futon if he wants to sleep. So basically, his place is small. But it can't be helped, Hess not really what you consider rich, Hess having enough trouble paying for his tuition, so he can't really afford any fancier place. He got a TV though. It comes with a room, so Hess a bit thankful, oh, and a small wardrobe he got at a discount store. Naruto walks to the wardrobe and begins undressing, changing into more fitting relaxing clothings which consist of a white shirt and a toed boxer. Walking lazily to the kitchen, he opened the fridge to look for something to eat, though he twitch when he only sees a couple of eggs and an half-empty carton of milk. Damn, note to self, buy grocery, the blonde sigh, looks like another dinnerless night. He took a gulp from the milk before closing the fridge, making a decision. The blonde begins to move the small dining table to the side and begins to take out his futon, though when he do his eyes met with a picture hanging on a wall. The picture showed 3 children and a short woman, a stuff that the blonde value most than any other stuff in the room. Naruto smiled sadly, then he forced himself to look away before he remembered again, Hess not in the mood to be melancholy right now, readying the futon, the blonde lied down in it and closed his eyes. He hopes that no nightmare hit him tonight. Unfortunately, his wish was not granted. Triple X. "Please stop, it hurt," a fully bandaged boy begged as he shivered in the corner of the room, trying to get away from a man not far from him. "Stop." "Why?" The man, a scientist wearing a long white lab coat, started to cackle, "Your body can take so much more. You can even be stronger than any living creature." The body cowered more when he sees the man's sinister eyes that held madness in them. "Please. I see you still don't understand, The man shook his head, such a pity, but it can't be helped. Now, the man walks closer to the boy and produces a syringe, it won't hurt one bit. Be a monster, for all of us, Kurama. The scream of the child could be heard all across the lab. Triple X. If yesterday was a bad day, today is a shitty day. If nightmare was not enough, the words of Medaka wanting to recruit him to the student council spread throughout the academy, much to the blonde annoyance, he could feel the stares many people giving him, some in curiosity and other in loathing. To make it worse, the lowly from yesterday is once again hounding him for explanation once again, at least Zenkichi could read the mood and give the blonde a breathing area. It's lunchtime right now and he could still feel the stares from every direction. "Come on, Uzumaki. Give me the details. Kuami-OONNNN. And Shiranui is still hounding him, it gives him a bit of a deja vu from yesterday, but that's not the point right now. The blonde tries his best to ignore the lowly by focusing himself on his lunch, which is a bowl of ramen, and the questioner seems to don't like being ignored. Boy Shiranui gives him a break before he snap, Zenkichi interfere before Shiranui could go to a more extreme measure. The last thing they need is for Naruto to go berserk at the cafeteria. But Hitoyoshi. Aren't you curious why he declined Medaka offer to join the student council? Well, truth to be told, he is a bit curious why Naruto denied the request. Medaka is the most famous girl in the school right now, and she's beautiful. What sane man that doesn't know her monstrosity denied a request? Naruto sighs, "Fine, if I tell you why, will you stop asking me?" Shiranui quickly nodded her head, "Yes. I promise. Pinky promise. On a strawberry shortcake." It's because Naruto paused, closing his eyes as if Hess in deep thought, then he quickly snaps it open, "I will be the one who will defeat her one day." Both Shiranui and Zenkichi blink, "Defeat her?" They both asked. "Yes." Both blink once again, before Shiranui burst out laughing, earning a tick mark from Naruto. "What's so funny?" "Ha. No haha, it's just haha, it's kinda hard to come by someone stupid enough to challenge the princess openly like that." "I'm not stupid." Uzumaki-san, you do know that Medaka is a monster, right?" Zenkichi asked. "What?" "Oh, that, yeah, I know," Naruto answered while slurping his ramen. "And you still want to fight her?" "Of course." Naruto let out a wild grin, "I won't rule this school if I don't defeat Medaka, and besides, it's much more fun that way." Zenkichi stares at Naruto like he had gone insane, and Shiranui only stares at the blonde in amusement. After finishing the bowl, Naruto stood up, "Well, I got some business to take care of, it involved life and death, so I'll see you guys later." Then the blonde took off to God knows where. That's insane. Who cares? I could make some money from him. Then Shiranui cackled madly as she imagined all the money she could get from the blonde. Zenkichi only sweat drop at his lowly friend. Triple X. You want us to what? I want you to find this little guy, Naruto repeated while showing Kiba a poster of a missing puppy. You're good with dog, so you'll probably have easy time finding him. Kiba eyes twitch, and why would you want to find that dog? Didn't you see? Naruto points at the numbers below the picture of the puppy. Look at the reward. 10 freaking thousand yen. The owner must be rich as hell. Kiba sigh, why is he not surprised? If Naruto requests something out of the blue, it usually involve money, or ramen, or both. No. Oh come on. Naruto grabbed Kiba's shoulders and shook him hard, my rent is coming up. And I haven't bought any groceries for a week. Be a bud and help me. Please. Ag. Alright already. Just let me go. Just as requested, Naruto let Kiba go. Alright, thank a lot, Kiba. I knew I could count on you. Then like a random storm, Naruto quickly leave the rooftop as quickly as he come, Jana. Kiba eyes twitch in anger at his friend antic, the damn blonde always shoved all the work of finding something to him, the brown-haired dog lover sigh, he guess it can't be helped, finding something is what he's good at, he suppose. Well, whatever, better call the boys, hell be damn if hell be the only one to suffer through his boss request, those damn grunts better work too. Triple X. Kiba. Yeah? Didn't I ask you yesterday to find a puppy? Yup. So what is this? The puppy you wanted to find. Naruto nodded his head in understanding as he sees the wanted poster he picked up, showing the picture of a small cute-looking dog, then at the creature that Kiba had managed to found. Are you fucking kidding me? Naruto point his finger at the large, wolf-like creature with scars and marking on its head, that's not a puppy. That's a creature that eats hobos and stray cats. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's a borzoi, a Russian wolfhound, Kiba corrected, they use them to hunt wolves, which is understandable considering the size. See? You admitted it's not a dog. But the wolfhound matches the description, beside, pups grows very fast, especially wolves. Naruto matched the puppy in the poster with a large wolf-like thing in front of him, Kiba's right, it matches the description in the poster, damn it, Kiba help me with. The dog lover's already gone, leaving a note that said good luck. Damn him. Yeah, karma is a bitch. Triple X. Zenkichi Hideyoshi doesn't know what to do right now. Yesterday, he had the bad luck of trying to capture the damn puppy that was requested to find, but instead he was turned into a human ragdoll by the puppy, much to his lowly friend complete amusement. And now, his boss, Medaka K, had decided to join him on his quest to capture the dog-wolf creature. By dressing as a sexy female dog. Shiranui stares at Medaka for a minute before turning to Zenkichi, Hideyoshi, I don't suppose. Yeah, she's so smart that she goes back to the point of idiocy. What are you two whispering about? Medaka asked, still in sexy pose with her sexy dog costume. Before Zenkichi or Shiranui could answer, a loud scream was heard. Aig. What was that? Zenkichi asked. Probably the puppy taking more victims, Shiranui answered with a happy smile. It's not a puppy. And it's a very bad thing. Don't smile damn it. Medaka didn't respond though, she chooses to quickly heads to the location, followed quickly by both Zenkichi and Shiranui. When they arrive at the scene, they couldn't believe what they're seeing. That's. The scene they're watching is a scene where the large wolf is licking someone with vigor, not because he was hungry, but because he was fond of the person, it's a licking of fondness. The person being Naruto Uzumaki. Ag. Stop licking. Hahaha, that tickle. The wolf responds with licking the blonde more, much to the blonde annoyance. Stop. Enough already. Naruto raised his hand and lightly chopped the wolf on the head, stop. The wolf whimpers and stops what he was doing, though he pants happily when the blonde pat him on the head. Good boy, Naruto said while patting the wolf, which quickly rolls to its back, asking the blonde to scratch his belly, well aren't you spoiled. The spiky-haired student then begins to scratch the stomach of the wolf, much to his pleasure. Now, your owner is looking for you everywhere, so how about we get back him? Naruto and the wolf realize they're being watched and looks toward the source. Both animal and human had their eyes widened and mouth drop. For the wolf, it was because Thera's large monstrosity behind one of the girl thats watching them, aiming to eat the oversized dog wolf up. For Naruto, it was the sight of Medaka in a sexy costume, showing her voluptuous body to the world that made him mute, it took all his will not to have nosebleed right there. And so, Thera's only one option left. Quick. We must go. Naruto quickly mount the wolf on its back, forward to the wind. Red hair. Without wasting any more time, the blonde and his new mount quickly fled the scene, to head toward where the wind carries them. They are not Lupu damn it. Zenkichi said with a tick mark, and that oversized dog aren't even red. Wash. As the wind blows, the three students didn't know what to do anymore. Triple X. 102, 103 104. Dude, stop your one-hand push-up and get over here. Wait 108 109 110, with ease Naruto pushed himself up, stretching his hand around, so what's up? Kiba looks at Naruto with an annoyed look, didn't I tell you that we'll talk about our next move? Now that you mention it. The brown hair student sighs, whatever, now, I've got the list of several groups in this academy that might benefit us if we beat them. Kiba took out a book from his pocket, it's all in here. Naruto grinned, finally, some action, so who do I need to beat? Kiba opened his notebook, well, most of the group is the people that didn't vote for Medaka Kurakami at the election, and it seems they're making some move against her. Eh? Seriously? Yeah, and Kiba was interrupted when the door of the unused shack opened as one of the grunt head pop in, what is it? Sorry to interrupt, the grunt said while scratching his head, but you got guessed, Oyabun. Naruto raised an eyebrow, guessed. Who is it? Before the grunt could answer, the guest pushes him aside and enters the sack with no manner whatsoever. Sorry to interrupt your little meeting, the guest said, a large man, with weird piercing on each of his ears and a shark-like teeth. Who the heck are you? Naruto asked with an annoyed face, the hell is this Hulk One dude want? A fight? My name is Hisuu Kanoya, a junior, the large man introduced himself, Yaour Naruto Uzumaki, correct? What about it? ESSH, Naruto, Kiba whispers to the blonde ear, this guy is the leader of the anti-Medaka movement, he gathered most of the group in my list, also one of the student council presidents, candidates that lose to Medaka. Naruto looks at Kiba for several seconds, before turning to Kanoya, so what do you want? The man smirked evilly, his shark teeth are visible to be seen. I have a proposition for you. Proposition? Kanoya nodded his head, yes, I know your story, Uzumaki, you're trying to take down Medaka Kurakami too, aren't you? Naruto didn't answer him. So I have a proposition for you, and it involved taking down a certain individual we both hate. Naruto stares at the man for several seconds, before a wild grin spread across his face. Shiranui nods her head while slurping her large bowl of full-set ramen, heard Slurp gathering people to slurp do something against Slurp Medaka-chan, the lowly lift her large bowl and drink the booth like it's holy water, a failed student council president candidate, and been touring around the school to look for people that can fight. From the looks of things probably planning for a hostile takedown against the student council regime. Zenkichi let out a hum as he pokes his curry with a spoon, hostile takes down, huh? Didn't that man know how much of a monster Medaka is? He does, Shiranui answered as she put her bowl down, a single Naruto is sticking on her head, he got a first-hand taste of her monstrosity when bullying female students to vote for him, I guess that bounds to happen when you're buying votes with brute force. DIC, well normally the news is worrying, the very fact that they're targeting Medaka of all people quickly quenches the normality of it all, really, of all people they targets the most fearsome of them all. By the way, Hiroyashi, how was your sport club's touring? Did you find anything you like? Shiranui asks out of pure curiosity, she's not trying to gather info about anything at all, nope, not her. Oh that, I've been to the boxing club already, next I'm going to try the full contact sports. Huh, I didn't take you as a jock, Zenkichi, a new voice interrupt, the owner sitting directly opposite of both Zenkichi and Shiranui, why are you so active? The Hound of Medaka looked at Habataki Hyuga, the once fearsome kendo player have his face is in bandage and plasters, scar of his battle with Naruto Uzumaki, not really, Zenkichi answered, but I have this rule that I must sweat at least 5 liters a day. I see, Hyuga nods his head in, somewhat of an understanding, it must be hard work trying to keep up with that monster president of theirs, but I suggest you to scale it down a bit, people are talking about you, calling you the Stuko Club Crashers. It's fine, Zenkichi wave off the swordsman, trying to build a reputation anyway, though to be honest, the Club Crashers sounds a bit weak, he needs something better, something as fearsome as Medaka's. Speaking of reputation, have you guys heard what the student population is calling Uzumaki-kun these days? Shiranui asked with gleaming eyes. Now that got the boys' attention, what is it? Hyuga asked. They're calling him the tyrant. Tyrant, a ruler who seized absolute power without legal right, a person exercising power or control in a cruel, unreasonable or arbitrary way, a cursed title given to people who rule through power and fear, or perhaps unjustly given to a ruler because his method are deemed too extreme by others. Tyrant Uzumaki, what a fitting title. All three heads snapped toward the sudden interjector of their conversation. Medaka Kurakami stood behind Zenkichi and Shiranui, with her hands folded under her generous breasts. The atmosphere around here is shining, as if her single existence is a blessing itself. Where the hell did you come from, Medaka? Her childhood friend asked. I've always been here, Medaka waved off her friend question, but what you said interests me, Hansoed Shiranui, you claimed that the students are calling Naruto Uzumaki with the title tyrant. Yup. Then it is a fitting title for someone who held great ambition and fight tooth to nails to claim the power they desire, one who have the eyes of someone who knows no fear, one who command the respect of their followers by sheer awe and force, one who challenge against a greater power with the courage of a honey badger. Medaka nods her head. Her dark red eyes shines with interest and an emotion one can't simply read. Yes, he is a fitting tyrant and a worthy rival for my power. Shiranui interest peaked when she heard Medaka explanation and claimed, "Wah, Medaka-chan, you sound really interested in Uzumaki-kun, could this be?" "Of course." Medaka acknowledged without shame, "I accept anyone who wants to challenge my position. But someone who proclaims a declaration of war in front of her face with such powerful and fearsome eyes. She had never met anyone brazen enough to do that, she can't tell what but there's something about this Uzumaki that sent her body tingling with something." Denkichi also suspects something's amiss with Medaka proclamation, she never been so specific about someone that she has no interest in, or maybe she is, he just rarely heard about it, and the fact she offers a position to Uzumaki mean that her interest with him is high, that mean. Oh god, he better pray for his classmates' sanity and safety. XXX. It was one of the empty classrooms inside the massive school where Konoha made it his base of operation. Chairs and tables are put aside to make room for the boxes of weapons and goons standing around in the room. The leader himself is sitting at the end of the room on a table as he observes the weapons his goons gathered. "It's not enough," Konoha said with a frown, "go and gather more." "Eh?" One of his goons looks unsure, "You sure about?" "Of course I'm sure." Konoha yelled out, "No, go and get more." "You sure are loud, gorilla man, I can hear you from outside the room." Konoha head snapped toward the entrance of the room in rage, "Who the hell call me gorilla? Oh, it's you, Uzumaki." His rage subside a bit when he see the rising leader of the delinquent. Naruto Uzumaki enters the room with 4 of his random underlings following behind, his blue eyes look around the room, spotting the ragtag of goons under Konoha and the weapons in the middle of the room, he frowns when he saw the latter. "Welcome, Uzumaki, I'm glad you decide you'll join us in our fight against that monster Medaka Kurakami." He grins, showing his shark-like teeth, "I'm sure with our combine might we can." The blonde didn't even hear what the giant shark-like gorilla is saying, preferring to walk toward the middle of the room and crouch down, inspecting the makeshift weapons. "What is this?" He picks up a spiked bat from the box and inspects it. "Oh that? Well, it's insurance package in our fight against that monster, we're planning to gather more." And he stops when he hears Naruto laughs. "What's so funny?" He laughs for 6 more seconds before stopping. This is funny." He wipes a tear from his eye, "You think a measly armament like this is enough to beat Medaka?" He looks toward the senior with an amused expression, then the second later his expression morph into rage as he grabbed the bat, smack it on the floor, breaking the wooden weapon. "Don't fucking kidding me, you stupid gorilla. Wah. You want to beat something that's stronger than you? And you resort to doing this?" He kicks the weapon box as it shatters from the force. "Don't make me laugh. You think this will change anything? You think weapons like this make you strong?" He picks up a plank of wood, "The pathway of someone gaining strength isn't from shit like this. You want to be strong? Then use your fist and your brain. Not this shit." He breaks the plank with the force of his grip. Konoha emotion is already at boiling point, but when the blonde performed this stunt, he stood up in all his size, killing intent ships out from him toward the blonde who isn't really affected by it at all. "What the fuck do you think you're doing, huh?" Naruto let out a sigh and glares at Konoha. "I'm teaching you idiots on how to be strong, on how to beat a monster like Medaka. If you can't even understand that, then it's no wonder you got your ass kicked. You asshole." He charged toward the blonde with his fist pulled back, his large body and muscles is a clear sign that a punch for him would hurt when it landed. It's also one of the reasons he's a pretty successful delinquent in this school. Someone experienced in combat would realize this in a blink of their eyes, as the signs are obvious. Naruto. He doesn't really care. The sound of skin and bone meet with skin and bone spread across the room, all of the eyes in the room are wide at the spectacles before them, even Konoha looks shocked. Naruto, instead of evading to the side like what a normal person would do, meet the punch with his own, as it not only stopped the large man's strike, and it smack it back. Brute strength alone won't get you much anywhere, that will fail you the moment you meet someone who is far superior than you. The blonde eyes are stagnant, staring at his opponent's shocked face. "I'm surprised your hand didn't break, you must strong bones." It's not like he strikes it with all he got, but it's pretty hard. "Anyway, you have your shot, it's my turn now." He dashed forward. Konoha tries to put up his hand in defense, he really did, but the fact that Naruto is fast and was close and personal, before he can get his defense up, already mark his defeat. With a swift punch to the guts, the blonde ended the fight. Oh, the large brute fell to the ground holding his stomach as saliva was spewed out from the sheer force of the punch. You need to analyze your opponent, are they stronger than you? Faster? Then you need to adapt. If you can't beat them then you need to train. Put yourself to the limit so you can match your most hated opponent. Naruto turned around and looked at the goons under Konoha. I can show you the way and help you get stronger. Come with me and be a part of my group as I bring this school to its knee. It's not mere words, but it is a promise. The promise of a tyrant to his soldiers, and the tyrant Uzumaki never break his promise. Triple X. Man, Oyabun, that was so awesome. It's at a non-descriptive arcade place that the Uzumaki group is hanging around. As a celebration for subjugating and merging a new group to theirs, the group decided to celebrate by playing at the arcade to let out some steam. It's a pretty intimidating sight seeing a lot of delinquents-looking students hanging around the arcade. But the place seems to be a casual destination for them that the other customers didn't really care that much. Aside, when the leader of said delinquents is playing DDR, it decreases the intimidation value. Or yeah. With a battle cry, the blonde quickly did some sick high-speed move to match the hard difficulty of the song. The delinquents around him are praising him in awe of his awesome skills. I won't let you beat me, Max UNLIMITED1. Woo. The entire underlings look in awe as their Oyabun finished the legendary hard song for every DDR. With a sigh of relief, the blonde stepped down from the DDR stage, letting the next eager player step up. I guess he'll go home for today. You guys go and enjoy yourself, alright. With a loud hi, Oyabun. Echoing through the arcade, the blonde grab his bag and take his leave from the building. He look up to the sky to see that it's already twilight and his shift in the ramen bar for today is coming up. Stretching his hands to the sky, the blonde begin his track toward the establishment. Pondering, the blonde begin to think about his options to gain popularity among the student body and also how to train his underlings without killing them. He could ask Manji to train them, but he doubt all of them have proficiency in kendo. But then he could ask Kiba to help make sure they're ready with hand-to-hand combat. He may not look like it, but the Inyazuka is trained in freestyle combat. It's a shame he didn't perfect his craft. He could be a good sparring partner. Did you say? A loud yell cut Naruto pondering as his eyes refocus just in time to see a group of 5 guys surrounding a meek-looking boy and a short black-haired girl with his school uniform. From the uniforms the thugs are wearing, even the blonde can guess that they're from different school. You didn't hear me. The girl growls without fear. I said you guys are assholes for bullying someone weaker than you. One of the thugs steps closer, but stopped by another one. From his style he could be the leader, as I-san. As I smirk, you got guts for a girl, but it's 5 against 1. Tell you what, you strip right now, right here, and we'll let you off the hook. How about that? The other thugs laughs perversely at the idea. The girl clenches her fist in rage and she. Ionic. All heads turn toward the weird voice coming toward them, and all they see is a flying human heading toward them, his legs directly aimed toward the nearest thug. Entry. With a finishing yell, the leg hit the thug and creates a human domino effect as he was propelled toward the other 2 thugs, including his eye. What the hell is this supposed to be, huh? Clearly not amused, Naruto asked while cracking his knuckles, ganging up on a girl. Where's your guts as a human being, you shitheads? As I was the first to recover from the shock attack. Why, you asshole? Who the fuck do you think you be, UHG? Before he can finish speaking, a fist greeted him on the face, propelling him one again through the air. As I-san. Listen here, you bastards. My name is Naruto Uzumaki of Hakanua Academy. And I ain't letting you assholes do shit like this in front of my face. The other thugs, snapped out of their shock by Naruto introduction, charge at him, only to meet the same face as his eye as the blonde dodge and weave all of their feeble attacks and counter it with his signature punches that sent them flying. Serious style. Falcon punchies. They are not Captain Falcon. All of the thugs screamed out before they black out and hit the ground in a loud thud. The Captain Falcon wanna bled out a sighs of disappointment. TCH, weaklings. He turns his face toward the victim's head just saved. You guys okay? Eh? Ah, yes. Thank you for saving us. The meek male said while bowing his head. Oh, the female is another story. The hell did you do that for? I can beat them by myself. Naruto scratch his cheek. Yeah, I know that, but that doesn't mean he'll just let these guys gang up on a girl. It's bad for my conscience, you know. Decide if old man Ichiraku found out he let her alone because he knows she can take care of herself, he'll dock his payment again. Huh? WW, what are you talking about? Her face went red. Her reaction made the blonde confused. What do I mean? That you're a girl. I mean, you're a girl, right? Well, of course. But then her bravado went meek. This is the first time someone said that to me, she whispers. Naruto was about to ask what she said the last part since he can't hear it, but his mind kicked him, reminding him that he's going to be late at this rate anyway. You guys are safe, so he'll be going now. Caillou. With a cool, shounen protagonist waves the blonde scurry away in top speed, hopping to get to his destination on time. Whoa, the meek kid look in awe, he's so cool. The girl. She's having trouble controlling her weirdly fast beating heart, Naruto Uzumaki huh? She whispers. Triple X. Is that the guy? Three figures stood atop of a building overlooking the area, their eyes are locked on a certain blonde that's sprinting through the quiet street toward his destination. If the picture is accurate, then yes, the middle one confirms with his voice muffles by something. He doesn't look like much, the third one, a male, said with a cocky tone, I can kill him with my eyes closed. The one who first asked a question, a female, snorts, yeah right, you should watch yourself for Yaoli, that ego. Whatcha say? Shut up, both of you, we need to remember that our mission is to observe only and don't do anything stupid. Need I remind you that he was an S-class experiment? Hell kill us if we do anything hasty, the middle one said. DCH, whatever. Right, understood. Good, well maintain distance just in case he has a large detection range, and if they somehow accidentally enter his range, he doubts he can get them out alive. At least not against a demon like him. So guys, that for today.